All right, we're live. We're live on YouTube. Hey, Slam, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Safe travels. You home, right?
Yes, I got home like three hours ago.
So tell us when your Slam Move Fest started and when it ended, where you were, what you did. We want to hear details.
Yeah. So, they, the everyone who knows us knows that Moo and I travel together. We're like,
Peanut butter
oh,
and jelly,
yeah, pretty much.
cookies and
Uh,
cream.
we're we're like Walter Matthau and what's his face and Grumpy Old Men.
What's going
We
on,
love to
William?
travel. We love to travel and bitch at each other. We're brothers. So a while back, I know that the three of us had talked about getting together in November, and it was just kind of like ha ha, how cool would that be? But then we firmed up details. We flew out. We with just the timing, it ended up being cheaper for us to fly out to Vegas, rent a car, drive down, and then spend the 2 days. And then, of course, that gave us that gave us the excuse that degenerates like us require to spend a couple of days in Vegas on the way back before we flew home. So we ended up getting into Las Vegas, McCarran, at about 10 o'clock on Thursday night. Now, the beginning of this whole trip was a debacle, and I almost was going to say I'm not gambling anything because this has just been a boondoggle from the start. Because we had somebody who once we were out on the runway and just waiting for the clearance to take off his mask and begin vaping on the plane because the idiot thought that, we're already out on the taxiway. They're not going to turn the plane around. Well, of course they turned the plane around, brought it back to the gate, and, he peaceably got arrested off of the plane.
Oh my!
Um, yeah, unfortunately, nothing world star to show there, but
Wow.
that was the start of it. We got there, and because we were late, the car rental place closed. So
Oh,
we were
what?
yeah. So we arrived too late to pick up the car. So we had to add an additional stay because originally what we were going to do is we were just going to jump right in the car and head down and either spend the night in Kingman or Laughlin. So yeah, that didn't happen. We got the car as soon as we could in the morning and then drove down. We didn't end up getting into Phoenix until like 5 o'clock, because there was traffic on this highway. Like, we're out in the middle of BFE. How's there going to be traffic? But there was traffic. So, but yeah, that was it. We didn't actually meet up with you at auction until 5:30 local. So,
Hey, Arnell, Vince, Craps Cat. Appreciate
what's
everybody.
up, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in.
So, give us a recap from your storytelling. What happened when you first went to the tables?
So we got there. We met with Otto. Otto, great guy. Otto had his beautiful wife there with him. We went to the roll to win, and I think we chose the roll to win because there was nobody at it, right? When we got to it.
Yeah, there was nobody there. $5
Yeah,
minimum. Yeah.
$5 min, nobody there. I think the normal table was wasn't packed, but there wasn't a lot of spaces
Yeah.
either.
They
And
still do 4 to a side there. Yeah.
yeah, so we sit, we pull up. Um, I sat down at stick right 1. Moo sat at stick right 2. I think you were hanging over by stick. There was one person. That's right, because there was one person at stick left 1. You took stick left 2, and when we got up there, stick left 1 was shooting, and he was actually like, I think he was like either 7 or 8 rolls in, and he was doing decently. But that's just kind of a superstition of mine. I don't put, even when it's an electronic table, I don't put bets out in the middle of somebody else's roll if I'm not starting it. So it I can't remember what you did. I think you had a 4 or 5, something like that.
It all runs together to me.
Right.
It wasn't very good, I don't think.
Otto shot, and it was short, and then Moo had a 3-pointer, and so it was just like,
Oh yeah, nobody made all the way around the table. Nobody was making anything. It was
yeah,
bad.
nobody.
Yeah.
And so by the time it got, like, I put $200. I put $200 in the machine. By the time it got around to me, like, I was down. I was down like $55, something like that. I wasn't making a lot of bets. The way that the machine was set up was, the lines and the come bets, both light and dark, were the 5 minimum. The place bets were a $3 minimum, and everything else was a 1. The field actually was a $5 minimum too, which that kind of threw me off. I thought that would, mimic the hot bets, but whatever. So it got to me. Now, anybody who's played on these tables like knows, like, you've got this screen like right in front of you, and so if you're like a practitioner of any kind of dice control, um, it ain't happening. But what I did was I actually, like, kind of sidled up to the machine. I've got a long arm, and instead of trying to get my fingers on the front and the back of the dice, I was actually doing a tong grip from the side, keeping my wrist locked, and just doing a lob at the end of the table. And that first roll was the 14. So I hit a 14 roller on the first go around, which was nice. I made a little bit of my money back. The guy at stick left, he took another shot at it. Nothing impressive. And then it came back around again. It was kind of quick. Just at this point, also, shout out to Maria, the beautiful dealer.
We're gonna keep that for the members only video.
But so it got back around to me, and I'm lowballing it. I'm feeling good from the first roll, but I'm not ready to commit a whole bunch of money. And in my experience, it's a lot easier to, not be nervous when I don't have a bunch of money on the table. So I'm going insides, and that's when I hit the 23. And I made a little bit more money on the 23. I got up to $250. And then I was just like, okay, so been driving all day. Cool. I'll cash out, go up to the room, relax. Well, you and Moo and Otto are still at the table. I go into the bathroom, and when I come back, You all are still. I believe you had bounced. Otto was still there.
I went on the
So
don't. Otto threw I switched to the don't. Otto
right.
threw like 3 straight 7 outs on the come out. And then he got a point of 4. So I was all in. And he threw the old bankroll killer easy 4.
Wow. Yeah, that's right.
Busted me. Arnell, I can't. We're not allowed to record in Arizona. It sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, you were gone. I got back and I sat down. Moo did another roll. It was like a 7 or 8. Not bad. Like not anything to write home about either. And so he tells me I'm gonna go up to the room, and I'm like, I feel like I've got one more roll in. So I took 100 out of the profit. I put it back into the machine. They had switched to another dealer at that point. I can't remember who it was. It was another pretty woman. That is when I hit the 35 roll, and tripled my money.
And I missed that. Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, before going up, and I was just like, wow. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, there's no way this is ever happening again.
So time out. Let me just stop you right there. So
yeah,
let's see. Preconceived notion was you were going to come here and jump on a real table. You weren't thinking about electronic, or you weren't thinking at all.
I didn't go down there with a table preference. No.
Oh, okay. So let me just switch that again. What was your thoughts of the electronic table before you showed up here?
My thought of the electronic table was simply from the practical side of, you've got a layer of protective material over the glass that is, it's sticky. There's friction on it. It kills momentum, and the table is smaller. So you've got, you can get 5 to a side, but everybody's in front of these screens, and so you don't have people's chips in the way. If people can't make late bets because they turn off the bets, and then you throw the dice.
As long as you have your hands in the air, those bets count. Oh wait, that's for the members only video. Okay.
That is
what was your thoughts on the electronic table before you got to Arizona? Was positive, negative, neutral?
I would call it slightly positive.
Okay.
I'd see the potential there. Obviously, as a dice setter, I wish that the screens didn't jut so far out from the table, but I get why they're made that way.
So, what was your impression after the first night?
After the first night, I was so high on the fact that, what was it? So it was 14 roll, 23 roll, and then a 35, and just making money on each one. I was coming at it from stick right 1, and I think I maybe hit 1 come out 7 all night long. The rest of it was just straight pounding the insides with a few outside hits, and just it got to the point where it was just it was exciting. The graphics on the table, along with the simulated noise and everything, it makes it exciting. I see why they're trying to use it to bring in casual craps players.
Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you was what you thought of the Thunderbolt.
The Thunderbolt.
The odds boost every few rolls. What do you think?
Oh,
You said you
that's
never saw
right.
that before.
I had never seen that before. And so what AZ is talking about is I think it was like, I want to call it like somewhere between every 5 to 6 throws after the dealer turns the bets off, a random prop bet will have its payout increase. So for like the NE7, instead of 4-1, it goes to 8-1. The hard ways will double their pay. Will
Only the 4 and
1
10.
and a half.
4 and 10 will go from 7-1 to 10-1.
Right.
That I've seen.
The box cars and aces will go from a 30-1 to 45-1.
And I have seen 60-1.
I did see that once.
It's more rare,
It's
of
random.
course. But they want you to go for those crazy bets, yeah.
Right. And that there again, it's that you don't know if that roll is going to trigger one of those random bonuses until after all the bets are set. And so like that's ingenious from the marketing, like from the standpoint of the casino trying to earn more money on those bets. It's crazy.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, Lawrence. Hey, Dex. Hey, Duracell.
It was kind of funny though, because when the so you can see on the table like everything that you would normally be able to see on your screen, plus all of the action of everyone else on the table. So if like you're standing there and you're getting ready to throw, and like for me, I would see the NE7 go from the 4-1 to 8-1, and I'm like, well, that ain't gonna pay off on this throw. Sorry, Charlie.
All right, let's move on. What happened that night? What time did you go to bed early? Could you sleep? What time did you get up? What happened?
So we, I came up. I think I got back to the room about 11. I went on my next roll, and I hit the 35, and I just took the money and ran. I didn't want to keep going. And then we got up. We started heading out to your place around 8 in the morning. Got there at 9.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
And just if you haven't been to Arizona, the drives between the urban centers, it is beautiful country. Just clear as far as you can see, mountains in the distance. It's pretty incredible drive. So yeah, that was Saturday morning that we were going to do the recordings for the Joker's Wild.
Oh, that's right. You came over to my place on Saturday morning.
That's right.
Don't give away results or anything, but you also recorded the championship belt, the field championship live.
That's right.
And you met Taco.
Yeah, that's right. The infamous Taco.
It's real.
So yeah, the field championship, it's a great watch.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. Jeff just said he checked airfare for the 27th and 28th, and he said it was really expensive.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be. It's it's right after Christmas.
Jeff, if you want to pick a different day, like I said, I'm available that whole week, Christmas till like January 2nd. I don't know. I don't know if you can find something cheap. I'm available. Doesn't have to be those meetup days, I guess.
Right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, we had a massive amount of engagement during the field championship. So, if there are any of you who haven't seen it, Definitely go take a watch. It was kind of slow getting into it, but it came to an exciting finish, so you'll enjoy it.
Good match. So
Definitely
then
good.
we went back to the casino that afternoon.
Right. Went back to the casino. Just immediately went. We immediately went back to the roll to win table. Didn't even consider the actual table. That I went on a. Then I went on another 32 roll. It was just crazy.
And
Um,
I was very conservative, so my bankroll went down, and then you helped build it back up. But
you know,
yeah,
I mean,
you were just lights out throwing the dice. You really were. I mean, that's the truth.
yeah,
Consistently good. It wasn't like you just threw some monster and then did a bunch of .7 outs. You had one bad roll that I saw that was, you know,
one
under
bad roll.
double digits, and the rest were all double digits that I saw.
Well, I also, you were still there. My last roll, before you left for that day, was a three roller. And the moment that I felt the dice leave my hand, I knew that I had messed up the throw, because I was using that tong grip, and just like they slipped out of my hand. It was just really bad. So
How about the
yeah.
time? We'll put this one in this video. We'll save the other stories for the members only video. But how about when the dealer pushed you the dice with the 7 showing?
So AZ has talked about this, off and on, but with craps being relatively new there, they don't have a lot of experienced dealers, and they will have like dealers for other table games man the roll to win table, and it is obvious that they have never dealt craps before, because they don't call numbers. They'll just they'll rake the dice in, put the number into their screen, and then you just see it. So there's no dealer engagement there.
There was a point where the dealers were not calling anything, so I took over, and I was like, "Yo!" And
Yeah,
I was doing the calls, and I said to Slam, "I thought I was off tonight, but I guess not. I'm going to make all the calls." And the
it's just
dealers
like
started
that's right,
laughing, but they had no clue that we were really making fun of them, really.
right. So the guy, and it was the old guy. I think his name was like Brian, something like that. So he pushes the dice to me with the 6-1 showing on top. And so I look at him and I'm like, "You really gonna pass me the dice like that?" He was like, "Oh, I can pull him back." And I'm like, "No, get away."
How
uh,
about there was a time, I don't know if I think you were there, maybe you weren't there. It all blends together to me. There was a 7, and she goes, it was on the come out. She goes, 7 out, 7 out. Sorry, guys. And it was the come out. Remember that? Maybe you weren't there.
no,
But they don't know what you're right.
I'm remembering. I'm remembering another 7. I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if you're saving that for the other video.
You can say it.
So I think it was the same guy actually too. So I threw the dice, and I'm purposely aiming to land short of the wall so that they'll just thump into the wall and die. So one of the throws, I throw it. They don't they travel a little bit, but neither of them touch the wall, and it's a 4-3-7. And this dealer, he stick he sticks the. Hold on just a second, guys.
Yeah, no problem. We're live. You know.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. So, he throws the he slides the dice back to me. It's clearly a 7. Now, anyone who's playing craps knows that in Vegas, if that stuff happens and both dice are short of the wall, they're still going to call it a 7 out because that's house prerogative. But I was just like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "Yeah, neither of them hit the." I grabbed him and I was like, "Okay, cool," and just kept
Well, that's
on
happened to me many times there. The consistency is not cool. I'll be on the don't, they roll the point, and I'll be like, it didn't hit the back wall. When everyone else wants it to count, and they don't know what to do. Like, there needs to be a rule. Like, okay, I get it if they don't hit the back wall, but the roll still should count unless someone's sliding them or cheating. No one's cheating. They just need to count it no matter what, and that needs to be the rule. And then if they give you like 2 warnings, then from then on, there's got to be some rule. But from dealer to dealer, it changes, and it's a joke. That's one thing I hate about the game, and I haven't really gotten into it, but the consistency at my local casinos here.
Right.
Well, sir, they both didn't hit the wall, so it's not going to count. But then a 7 comes up, then what do they do?
Right.
And it depends on the dealers. It's not consistent.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, realistically, the whole hitting the back wall, that's not a legal thing. It's a house rule thing, and that's why they can decide, even though neither of them hit the back wall, at least in Vegas, that it's a 7 out, because ultimately, it's the house. The house sets their own rules, and they're going to call the rules for whatever is going to favor the house.
So after 2 days, it's Saturday night.
Saturday night.
What's your bankroll looking like? Up, down? Where you at?
So first day, I'm up $250 total. The second day, I, like, with the combination of all of it, I was up an additional $400. I'm not counting change or anything like that. I'm just rounding for simplicity's sake. The third morning, which was weird because, it's Sunday morning. Moo and I are, we're kind of dragging our feet, checking out. And I was just, I had said, it sucks that we're not going to have another chance to play with you. And like, you text me and you're like, where are you at? And I'm like, yeah, we're just heading down to we're, just about to check out. And at that point we were kind of like, 50-50 on whether we were going to try the table again. And then you're like,
really?
Well,
you weren't even going to, you weren't going to, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's, even though it's only like 5 hours, it's still a long drive.
Oh no, there's no doubt.
But you're like, yeah, and we were like, yeah, and ended up sitting down at the table with you. Did another $100 that I parlayed with a 30+ roll into another triple up, and then after that, that was when I threw the 3 roll, and I lost $50 on that. So I was up 250 for day 3.
So you were up a couple hundred every single day.
Yeah.
And then you guys hit the road back to Vegas. Did you play any on Sunday night?
We went to so we stayed at Mirage. Basically we saw the bubble on the way up to the room.
Mirage has the individual bubble too.
They have both the individual bubbles and the group bubble.
And you decided to pick which? Why?
I just chose the group bubble because I have never had good luck on the individual bubbles. So I was just like, this one, I know it. Let's go. I was to be honest, I was kind of grumpy and irritable from having been on
No,
all day.
I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, because that's not me at all, ever. Uh, so I put $40 on a lay four because I looked at the screen and there was no four on it for the history of the whole thing. And so guy rolls, it was like an 8, then a 10. I'm like, ooh, thank God I didn't put that lay on the 10 because I was thinking about it. And then next roll, he hits a 4. It was a hard 4 too. It was like, you dirty, you son of a. So that was like my actual, except for the fact that I had already won earlier today. That was like my real like losing only session because I just washed my hands of it and went back up to the room.
So then now you're at Monday. What happens Monday?
So Monday, we we had already set up time with Tony Leo, who runs Advantage Dice Control, and a couple of different groups on online for not only bettering your craps game but other table games as well. We went there to talk about dice control and actually importantly betting strategies. So because for me, and I mean, here's the thing, I'm a decent dice controller. By no means am I like, Howard Newman or, Heavy or the Dom, anything like that. But I know what I'm doing. But the whole betting strategy aspect of like knowing what to bet when and maximizing opportunities, that's what I wanted to learn more about. So I had arranged a class for me and Moo with Tony on Monday. We did that. He actually, the class was only supposed to be an hour. We actually ended up spending about 2.5 hours with him, and then we went out to lunch with him. And I had a couple, and I was feeling good.
Well, William has a clarification question.
Uh-oh. What's up?
So what you're saying, Slam, is that you attended the King Dice Academy?
Well, so you can remove William from the cast, right? Just like kick him out, ban him?
I could, but that would be boring.
So after we were done, we were thinking about going to Stratosphere because I had heard from somebody else in Craps Nation, Stratosphere has a roll to win table.
Yep.
And
I was there with Rich. Yep.
Right. And it's a $10 minimum.
$5 during the week, I heard.
So
10 on the weekend. That's what I heard. I could be wrong.
It would have so, nonetheless, it would have been even better. So
you're telling me you didn't go there?
We did not go to Strat. We actually went back to the hotel. Something happened at home with Mrs. Moo, and Moo wanted to go up and talk to her about it. And so I was just like kind of bumming around on, in the casino at Mirage. And if you haven't been inside Mirage, I mean, obviously, it's not Bellagio or anything like that. It's still a beautiful property.
Oh yeah, huge. You can get lost. It's plenty big. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually went back to that damn bubble, and
push the button.
Push the button. I put $200 into the bubble. I wanted to practice some of the betting strategies that I had learned, and I was also keeping watch on the tables. From what I could see, there may have been more out of my sight line. Mirage has one craps table and one crapless. And so I was waiting for an opportunity to get onto stick left one. And so while I'm doing that, looking back and forth from the bubble, I end up this drunk guy ends up just going on a tear, and I've got just like simple. Thankfully, at Mirage, there's only a table minimum, technically, bet minimum of 5. You can have that in $1 increments. So basically, I was just like $6 across, and just like absentmindedly pressing it by $1 every time he hit.
Sounds stress-free.
It was pretty cool. I was having a good time. He hit a couple of hard ways. And yeah, I was just enjoying it. Then the entire crapless table cleared out.
Wow.
So I cashed out. I went over to the crapless table. I put $200 down. It was a $15 minimum. And, you know, it's probably it's somewhere between a 12 to 14 foot table.
So this was your last hurrah in Vegas before you had to leave.
Right. I wanted to see if I could do it at the real table. So I ended up, actually I went for 12 rolls. I first hit a point of 8, and I had max odds behind the line on it. And then, or not max odds, I had $25 behind on it. And then I hit a point of 4, and I had $15 in odds behind it. And between, I had money on the 5, 6, 7, and 8, except for when I had it on the pass. And I ended up within that 12 rolls, pushing that $200 to $450.
Nice.
And I just took, like, once I hit the point, I took all my bets down and I left. I mean, because at that point, I've more than doubled my money, and there's no point in risking it.
Wow. So how'd you end up with the trip? Up?
After subtracting the cost of the Mirage, the cost of gas, splitting the rental for the car with Moo, paying for, I bought Moo's flight back so that we could sit together. Food, because like we ate, and Vegas isn't, Vegas ain't cheap food wise. After having taken care of all of that, I still came home short of $1,000 in the profit.
Damn. Nice. Yeah. Sounds like a winning trip. Sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah, it was a good time. I'm looking forward to the next Big AZ get together.
What did we say? December 27th and 28th?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Okay. All right, I guess we'll wrap it up. So you then flew back to Colorado.
Yep. Got touchdown at about 2:30 Central or 2:30 Mountain, and took an Uber home, and just, it's that thing where, I'm sad that the vacation is over, but I am happy for the comfort of home.
So Slam, we'll wrap it up right here, and then we'll talk about those other juicier details in the members-only video right after this. So if you're a member, check back in 3 minutes, and we'll be live. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, Slam.
Thanks for supporting Big AZ's channel. If you haven't taken the opportunity to join the Blue Wrench crew, we're going to be having a Blue Wrench meetup, and we'd love to have you. It's it's a pittance for the amount of entertainment that Big AZ provides to us. So come on in.
Thanks, man. So just so everybody knows, Did you have a good vibe at Auction? Was it fun at Auction? Was it boring? I mean, people have never been there.
Great. For individuals who are worried, who don't like smoky casinos, Auction is smoke free. So that's nice.
They have a smoking section in the back for slots, but anywhere on the gaming floor or crap tables or any of that where we are, it's no smoking. Yeah.
And beautiful dealers.
We'll get to that in the members only video. All right, everybody. Just so you know, in 40 minutes, I'll have my next Vegas video, and then we'll be live after that. All right, Slam. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.